Hello and welcome to Talking Fast. I'm manager Jacob and this is Sarah. Sarah, how you doing?
Is that our intro?
No.
Oh, it could have been. Hey, my name is Sarah, and welcome back to another episode of Talking Fast. Alongside me, like every single week, is manager Jacob, and I am very curious as to what you are drinking this week, Jacob.
Sarah,
eating,
I'm shaking it up because
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
actually, this
Eating
is
too.
for me, not a drinking this one. I'm continually going to talk about this. The weather is giving me energy and life right now.
Yes, that's-
Summer, I swear it's summertime. It's
That's
like
what this
25,
entire
30
episode
degrees.
is going to be about. Yep, it's all about summertime.
Exactly. So I had to break it out with good behavior. Shout out to, I think they have a couple locations, but I'm going to shout out the East Side one, Gerard, good behavior. First
Shocking.
of all, it's like, have you been to Lambo's?
Oh no,
deli
I went to go.
sandwiches?
Okay, so I went to go literally this past weekend, but the line was so long. I'm like, I'm not waiting that long for a deli sandwich.
You know what's better than nonstop lines in the West End? Why don't you just come over to the East Side and have a good time at good behavior? First of all, I think it's like custard-based ice cream. Is that a thing? I think that's what it is. And deli sandwiches, and they're delicious.
Interesting
So
duo.
good. So it is the best.
You
duo.
sound like you're running for MP of your neighborhood when you say, "Come on down to the East End."
Come on down. I've got some pamphlets that I'll hand out, but I've been eating both the sandwiches and then the ice cream.
Oh,
Little
okay, good. I'll have to
picnic
try.
spot
I mean, we
situation.
are recording the East End. You could always bring some here, and we could try it out.
Maybe next week we bring in some deli sandwiches.
Maybe.
I don't know. What about
wouldn't be
you,
opposed.
Sarah? What are you eating or drinking this week?
This week, I'm on my journey to try and find the best iced latte in this city.
Oh,
I've realized I don't want to do iced oat milk lattes anymore because the oat milk's too creamy. It feels more like a hot drink to me.
yeah.
And then almond milk sometimes tastes a little chalky. So I'm kind of back on my regular milk, and I'm trying to find the best oat milk latte. I'm trying to find the best iced oat milk latte in the city. Strong contenders currently. Aroma's always a strong contender.
Yeah.
They're not sweetened, and I don't really like them too sweet. I also really like Milky's. That's a strong
I
contender.
went to Milky's for the first
For
time.
the first
other
time,
day.
yeah. Did you go to the one at
Delicious.
Stacked, or did you go to the
Stacked.
one? Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good. They put like maple syrup in there, so that's a strong contender. So there's a couple contenders, but I'm on the hunt. So let me know where your favorite iced latte is in the city of Toronto, and I will maybe go check it out.
Shout out to the iced lattes. I almost got one before recording because I could have used a little bump.
Yeah,
But yeah, nice. What are we reading or watching this week?
I'm fully in. I have joined the Bravo universe.
Oh,
I am all in on Vanderpump Rules. I never watched any of those shows. I had like kind of watched a few episodes. I knew enough about them because like I had friends that are obsessed. I know I'm so late to the game, but the Scandival stuff hooked me. It like got me in. Like knowing all the scandal that happened with Tom Sandoval and Ariana Madix. Like I was like seeing it all over my socials. It was all over TikTok, and I was like, do you know what? I'm going to get into this. So my coworker sent me this Instagram post that was like every episode of Vanderpump Rules you need to watch before watching this like scandal episode,
Okay.
the most recent one in season 10. And so I watched all those, and now I'm all in. So now I've just gone back and watched all of season 10, and now I'm going to go back and watch from episode 1, like the very first season.
wow.
I'm, like, all in now.
I
I
did not
can't-
know that there were this many seasons.
There's 10
Honestly,
seasons.
I know other than like some light fringes of what the drama is.
Yeah.
I don't know anything.
I didn't
about
really know
this.
anything either, but I'm so in now, and I'm so invested.
And people have been doing full watch parties.
Yeah, like
and,
bars in in Toronto have been having full watch
Yeah.
parties. Like it's like a sporting event. I love it. So I'm all in. I'm in the Bravo universe. People have been begging me for years. I am one of the Bravo girlies now. Catch me at BravoCon soon.
We love to hear it.
So if you're not watching Vanderpump Rules, then what are you watching this week?
It's not Vanderpump Rules. Maybe I'll get into it eventually. I am just excited for my little European vacation.
Not really little. It's 3 weeks, but
3 weeks, yes. And heading there in a couple of weeks from now, I think, or under 2 weeks now. I think it's like 9 days, actually.
yeah.
I'm excited for that. So I've actually got on. Took me a long time for my algorithm to kind of understand what my travel plans were. So TikTok, like
Get on that.
get on that a little bit faster. But it has been dialed in now, so I'm full on European summer TikTok.
Oh, that must be nice.
It's nice, yeah, because the season's kicking off, and not only like I know a few people who are there right now, but you
Yeah.
know when it's like the start of the warmer months and people
Yeah.
are all over your Instagram stories, you're like questioning how people have the funds to travel to places and how they travel for so long.
Yep.
I know that I like to do a little snooping myself like that. But anyway, that started to roll out. So it's just getting the vibes going for the
Yeah.
trip. I'm getting a little excited. So that's what
And
I've
this
been
is your
watching.
first time going to Europe, right?
Yeah.
You're not
surprising.
just going to Italy either. You're going to London as well.
Doing London, Paris, Rome, Milan, the
Italy.
Amalfi Coast,
Yep.
and Barcelona.
Ugh, amazing. If you guys have any suggestions, send them Jacob's way.
Yeah, or things to avoid too. You know,
Yeah,
I've got tips on both sides.
Oh,
like
that's
good
true.
tips of stuff
That's
to do
true.
and good tips of like just
Things not
worth
to
it.
do or not worth it. That's good to know, actually. I wish I was going on an Italian vacation. And as you're getting ready for your European vacation, what is going to be on your Songs of Europe playlist? What are you listening to this week?
Okay, Post Malone's new song, Morning.
I learned half the time about new music from you. I didn't know Post Malone had a new song.
I've put this song on my Songs of the Summer playlist.
Oh my God. Did you download it for the plane?
I downloaded it for life.
I'm going to download it for my road trip I have to take to Pittsburgh.
Okay. You're not gonna be surprised. First of all, you're probably gonna want to put it on repeat. Everyone knows that listens to this podcast. I probably listen to like a song a week because I just put it on repeat for the whole time.
And then you get like sick of it, and then you just listen to one other
Okay,
song. For
so
the
I've
next
been
week.
listening to this for over a week. Not sick of it. Shout out Post Malone. Come on the podcast because
He
we
is
want to
coming
hang.
to Toronto this year.
Is he? Maybe he'll come on the pod.
I mean, we can try and manifest that. Maybe.
But you know what? It's just what a track. What a track. It is
haven't
just
listened.
a pop song. You know
Okay,
what I mean?
I'll take a listen.
What are you
Maybe
listening?
not every day for a week straight,
If
but
you're
I'll listen.
listen to it once or twice. If you're not listening to Post Malone, what are you listening to this week?
I am so late to this game, and I know that I'm late to it, but the Noah Kahan train has left the station, and I am in first class, all aboard, toot toot. It's the only album I've been listening to for the past like 3 weeks.
So good, right?
He is unbelievable. He's like Vance Joy. Like that's his energy. And I love Vance Joy. It's good plane music. Like I always listen to Vance Joy on airplanes. And like, that's like, I don't know, like that, like folky, whatever style. I adore him. He's coming to Toronto in September. And I'm so sad that I missed the little window for tickets, but also he is someone I would want to manifest coming on this
Where
podcast.
is he playing?
Bud Stage. So what happened was
good show.
he was supposed to go to RBC. Nope. He was supposed to go to Echo Beach, and then the pre-sale, like there was such high demand for the Verified Fan pre-sale that they literally moved the concert to
That
Bud
is a
Stage,
big
and it's a
jump.
sold out concert, and it's like hundreds of dollars the cost of a
No
ticket right now. It's
way.
crazy. So hopefully I can go, but let's manifest getting him on the pod too because
amazing.
I love him.
And he has I believe the deluxe album of Stick Season
Yeah.
comes out in a week.
It does?
Yeah,
I didn't even know
It's on
that.
the same day as Nile. I'm pretty
Oh
sure.
my god!
the
Oh my
9th.
god! What am I gonna do? There's so much music.
Because
coming
when you
out.
said plain music, I could be totally wrong, but I'm pretty sure that I'm right that it comes out the same because that's the day
What,
I
you're gonna-
leave. So
and
I'm
you're
if
gonna
you're talking
listen.
plain music, I'm gonna load up that album and I'll see if I get to it after 4 hours of Post Malone on repeat.
Jacob, it's summertime. I don't know when the first official day of summer actually begins.
June 21st.
Okay, great. I didn't know that, but I consider it summertime as soon as it gets above 20 degrees regularly. And that's been the case here in Toronto. Sorry if you live in another place it's not that warm, but in general, it's summertime vibes. And
Yes.
we wanted to do a summer kickoff episode where we're going to talk about how you can have the ultimate summer. In my adulthood, I've really prioritized making sure that summer is just like the most fun, busy time ever and taking advantage of it.
We also have to living here in Toronto in Canada
Yeah.
because it's short-lived, but it's a vibe.
And in January, we literally had 27 days straight of darkness. So we're really taking advantage of summertime vibes. And I always get questions about how to make the most of your summer and how to do so many things and just say yes to things. So we compiled a list, the two of us. So this is the ultimate podcast to listen to if you want to have the best freaking summer ever. So
Let's do this.
let's do this. First, do you want to start? Do you want to ask me?
Yeah, Sarah, what is your first tip to the best summer ever?
Okay, so my first tip to the best summer ever is say yes to every single outdoor concert.
Ooh, that's a good one.
There is something, I don't know if it just makes the music sound better or what like the vibe is that changes, but there's something so special about a summer outdoor show.
You know what I think it is? The smells.
The-
I'm not
Not what I
kidding.
thought you were going to say, but interesting. Okay, I'm curious to hear this.
An outdoor concert is made What's different?
We're
It's
outside.
outside.
Yeah.
A lot more smells.
Fresh air.
There's still drinks in your hand. There's still music being played. You can get those inside.
Mm-hmm.
What you can't get are the chirping of the birds. That's a sound. You can't get the. You know what? Listen, I'm not a smoker. I don't advocate smoking. But if there's a little bit of cigarette smoke in the
It
background,
kind of adds to the vibe.
yeah, you start getting a festival vibe. Someone's smoking
That's
a little
true.
marijuana.
It's legal here.
in Canada. We don't necessarily condone that, but we do like it when it's a vibe setter.
When it's a vibe
in
setter.
an outdoor concert.
I did not think you'd say smells. No, I really in the past couple of years have just started to say yes to any show at Budweiser Stage specifically. So that's the
Yeah.
amphitheater here in Toronto because they have the lawn. So the lawn seats are not seats. It's just a lawn and you buy a ticket. And especially for country shows, I actually would like attest that a big reason why I became a country music fan is that I just started going to shows at Bud Stage. When I grew up in my small town, I resented country music and I didn't listen to it because like everyone there.
Right.
And I was trying to be not like everybody else from my hometown, so I wouldn't listen to it. But I moved to the city. I started going to Budweiser Stage shows. People would be like, "Do you want to come see Keith Urban?" I think I knew like 2 Keith Urban songs. So I'm
Yeah.
like, sure, whatever, I'll go. And then because I'd go to the shows, I'd become a fan. And you find so many unique artists and a lot of like smaller artists play at like Echo Beach. I'm actually going to a festival called Lavender Wild, which is like all queer artists.
Yeah.
And I'm going with 2 of my friends. I'm going with Cameron and Anastasia. And that's going to be cool because it's like, I know a few of the artists like Haley Kiyoko and like Girl in Red, but I'm going to discover so many other artists. I'm also just going to be outside sipping, I don't know, like a Bud Light or a lemonade or something, having the butterfly clips in my hair. And it's just going to be the vibe and the sun is just another reason to get outside. So I think a big thing that changed my approach to summer is just saying yes to any concert. You don't have to know every song.
And that's the other thing about being outside is just like you're going to shows. You want to go to shows anyway, and you also want to be outside. It's summertime. Hello,
Exactly.
obvious answer. Combine them.
And I always get frustrated when I have concerts in the summer that are like at Scotiabank Arena because it like
know.
feels like jail. Like it just feels like you shouldn't be going.
One show a summer that's like you go in has nice AC. Just like break it up.
I was gonna say, but then we went to like Harry Styles last year, which is like you could say it was nice AC, but there's a million people packed and they're jumping up and down, so it was still hot.
True.
Jacob, what is your number one tip for?
Okay, this is not
summertime.
gonna surprise anyone because I've talked a lot about these things previously on episodes of Talking
Okay.
Fast. Listen, summertime's great for live music, and you say you're gonna have some drinks there, but what are you also gonna have at a live music show and other places in the summer?
Sunburn. I don't know.
Yes, snacks.
Oh, the food. Okay.
Listen,
Okay, that kind of goes hand in hand with smells too, I guess, for you,
A
if
little-
that's what your vibe you're curating.
a little bit, but you know what? Summer moments, for me, summer moments are the best when they're around food. I'm talking
true.
hitting your local ice cream shop. Edgereal
Oh,
Scoop
that's
here in the
true.
East End. There's also one I think in the West End somewhere. But this is the original. Picnics in a park. I've
You've
been doing
already
that.
been on like multiple picnics.
I think I've done 3 picnics. I've done
That's crazy.
2 or 3 ice cream shop moments. Also beach vibe. You know what's so fun? Going to the beach.
You've named like 9 different things. Is it just
No,
all
but
about
this
food?
is all about
All
food.
about
This is all
food.
about
This
food
is
'cause
the
they're
food
different.
category. Okay,
I'll give you a
got it.
breakdown. Ice cream shop is ice cream on like the side of the road, just going around the corner to your
Yeah.
local shop, picking that up. The beach vibe is like a bag of chips and like a
Yeah.
lemonade or something like that,
Oh, yeah,
refreshing
yeah,
while
yeah,
you're
yeah.
like cooking in the sun a little bit.
Yep.
Picnic. Haley and I've been doing this is like, just go to the local kind of grocery store around the corner, pick up a couple of things, kind of do like a park charcuterie moment for dinner.
That one's good. Or like a good sandwich vibe for the park for a
Good
picnic
behavior
as well.
is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
Picking up and it's a good excuse I find to like try a new takeout restaurant or
Oh, yeah.
just like hit up a different spot to get food that you might not have already. So it's a good excuse to like go and find something
And
new.
just barbecue in general, like eating outside.
Exactly. That was the last thing on my snacks list is barbecuing. And the one tip was like, especially if you live in Toronto or another big city or a condo or something like that, if you have communal barbecue,
Yeah, you can
like,
usually
zones,
rent them.
A lot of people can rent them or like go down and use them. I rarely did it for like the first half of my condo living experience in Toronto, but have done it a lot more recently.
Yeah.
And it's not as hard as you think to like, or an inconvenience as you think to like take some food down and grill it up. And who doesn't want a cob of corn
Fresh.
on a summer night?
Yeah, and there's something I don't know what it is, but outside if I'm when I'm at my cottage, I just like never want to be inside. It's like I constantly just want to be like outside and eating outside, even if it's like cold out there. Like this past time I was there, it was like May, so it's still a little chilly.
Yeah.
And I was like layered up with sweaters, but I'm like eating my burger outside because I'm like, I have to eat outside. Like I'm here. Like that's part of it.
Or a tea in the morning. Just
Yeah, outside. Walk. Or yeah, exactly. I bring like a glass of wine down to the water with me or something. There's just something that's like the second it gets warm out, I want to consume beverages and food outside.
Yeah. So that's the tip, is like basically using food, beverage as a good excuse to spend more time outside.
Do you think that COVID helped create like park culture more here specifically? Because I think in places like New York and London and stuff, it's always been a thing. But do you think
I think so, yeah. I mean, like the drinking in parks is one big thing that I think has contributed to that, is that it seems police are a little bit more lax about ticketing. I think it's still technically illegal. There's some like pilot projects in the city here.
Yeah.
I don't know where.
Certain parks, I think,
yeah,
are.
certain places in Canada are probably a little bit different. Let us know if you can drink in your park.
You kind of Montreal, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, like I think that COVID definitely helped that, like get people more chill about that aspect of it, which brings people more.
I agree. But it also just like I mean, we're in a recession, like financially that like also helps. Like I think it's such an easy thing to do instead of like being like, I don't know, like this past weekend I was walking around King Street, King West, probably my first mistake, but like trying to find somewhere to go with my friends. And I'm like, why could we not just like, we should have just grabbed a blanket and gone and sat in the park and like picked up like food.
That's what Haley and I kind of have, like just a tote bag with like a blanket and a speaker and like water bottles ready to go kind of. So it's just like, okay, pick up a couple of things. And then, yeah, you're not spending like $200 on a night out to get dinner or something.
And then also you have a dog. So it also helps because you always know that you can bring your dog with you as well.
Exactly. Brooklyn's a little crazy and probably would try to eat everything. So we don't do that.
But it would help. Okay.
What is your second tip for the best summer?
So going off of, I think you're going to hear the constant theme is spending as much time outside as possible. Your girl's got a little bit of a like tan line sunburn already from spending time outside.
Yeah.
But exploring neighborhoods is something that I love doing. Exploring different neighborhoods when it's the summertime. So even just a few weeks ago, it was beautiful weather and my coworkers and I were like, why don't we just go to Kensington? And we just went and explored Kensington, went to like get tacos, and we just went on a couple patios and like very divey bars that I never would have gone to otherwise unless I just explored that area. And even on Saturday, my friend Allie and I just like walked all along like Ossington and Queen Street West and Dundas West and just explored and popped into shops. And like I found a hippie market and got a ring. Like I just love being able to just walk around and explore different neighborhoods, especially in Toronto. Like you can go up to Casa Loma, you can go like north, like more north in the city and explore these different areas that you otherwise wouldn't. And it's just a way to see different pockets of the city that you live in and really appreciate it.
And I love when people start, like little shops start to put out their selection on the sidewalk.
Yeah, I do
There's
too.
nothing I like more than a summer day, like just browsing around. Like
and like I'm like there's a million markets in the city on a summer day. Like you just like happen to pop by like this past weekend I was at a dog market. Like not like that sounds.
Have you gone to the Toronto Flower Market?
No, but it looks so
Okay.
cool. I've
if
never
anyone
been.
hasn't been, go early. It's so popular and like stuff kind of sells out. I'm not sure if it's running right now.
I think it already happened, didn't it?
I think it's like monthly though.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think so, through the warm months. Anyway, that's a really good one as well. And there's a nice market on Saturdays at Evergreen Brickworks. I'm always going to be pushing the East End.
I was gonna say like if it's past like Yonge Street East, then Jacob's all for it.
Yeah.
Anything.
Although you know
east.
what, West Side, like Sororan Park, I think it's called Sororan Park, has a nice farmers market as well. But that's just to your point. Different neighborhoods all have something going on. Get out there and check them out.
And I think with that too, it also just goes to like just spending time outside, like getting a spike ball kit or one of those games that you can like bring with you. My friends and I like at least once a week, someone goes, let's have a spike ball night tonight. And then whoever can, you pop in, pop out. Like maybe it's after work, maybe it's after the podcast. You just go play a couple hours of spike ball. We like to play at Stanley Park because they have lights that stay on so you can play longer.
Okay, this kind of goes into my second tip for
awesome.
this episode as well, because it's all about fitness, sports, and activities, which is
sports
like,
activities is very on brand for you.
Yeah, but it's also just, first of all, you can run throughout the whole year. Most months it's kind of awful to rerunning in the winter and ice and whatnot. But also just like outdoor sports, for example, like I play soccer or just rec soccer team, and like it's in a bubble for the like half of the year.
And your ears pop when you walk into it.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want that. But it's so nice to same kind of thing, right? Like you have a consistent weekly activity with some friends that you know you're going to meet up, you're going to play a game. Maybe I play in a rec league, like I said, but it could be just like you said, where it's just like a kind of a more casual pickup game or something like that. But like I'm talking volleyball, you can bring nets down to Ashbridge's Ashbridges Bay, which is basically Woodbine.
You can bring nets
I think
and
you
set
can.
them up? Oh,
I
I
think
didn't
you
know
can do
that.
that.
You can also go to like the docks. Like I play volleyball at the docks in like a rec league. And so we
Yes.
play every Wednesday beach volleyball. But there's also the driving range at the docks, which is really
Yeah.
cool. And they actually have a really cool outdoor bar. And it's really inexpensive. So it's cool because it's like after you play beach volleyball, like
got
we
some
can
like
just
fire
go.
pit things going
They have
on.
fire
and-
pits. You just go buy a bucket of beer and just stay and hang out for a little bit. Like that makes a night out of it as well, even if it was unintentional.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. It's just like you have an excuse. I played the same in that or a similar league there last year, and it was just a good excuse to like go out on a Thursday night, get a game in, but then also like hang out beforehand, hang out afterward, and then also like apart from organized sports, this is the prime time for running.
Oh my God. The PSAs for running. I'm actually like rolling my eyes, but I actually might be going on a run after we record
Yes,
this podcast.
you will. It's a beautiful evening. You got to take
I got
advantage.
new Hokas. I have to try them once.
Okay, this is a little bit of a sidebar, but it's an activity, and I really have a question because I've never done this in the city. But
Okay.
maybe you know, maybe a listener knows. But you ever done stand-up paddleboarding?
Yeah, I used to coach
Really?
teach stand-up paddleboarding. Not in Toronto, but yeah. When
Okay, 'cause
I
I'm-
worked for the Coburg Canoe Club, and I used to teach children how to kayak,
Whoa.
canoe, and stand-up paddleboard.
Okay, because I love all three of those things, and I've never done it
You
in
can
the
do
city.
it at the island,
You can. Okay.
and you can do it. They also have, I think you paddleboard at the island, and you can. It's cool because they have like a bunch of little like
They're like inlet
yeah, there's
stuff
inlets and stuff, and like I used to like my kids that I would like coach used to like kayak and canoe and like race in those inlets and stuff. In the Harbourfront, there's boats, there's people, there's tourists, there's whatever. But I think if you go across the island, you can take stand-up paddleboarding
Okay,
lessons.
this is good. This is like kind of combining all of our tips because it's like activities, exploring a new neighborhood. Because I
Yeah.
haven't really like I've gone to the island many times, but like only to the beach kind of thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it'd be nice to like explore. I've never done like kayaking or canoeing around there.
You definitely should. That should be on your summer bucket list.
Yeah, I'm adding it today, right
and,
now.
and then you can just blast your summer playlist at the same time.
What is your third tip?
Third tip is kind of going against what you're doing because you're going to Europe, but mine is don't leave the country and explore Canada.
Whoa,
I
okay.
think a big, I think what a lot of people do is when it's the summertime, they're like, oh, like now's the time to go to Europe and whatever. Like everyone does European summer. If you want my take, I think you should go to Europe in like April or May or September and October when it's still hot there. It's still beautiful weather, but there is a fraction of the people. When I went to the south of France in like the end of September, it was incredible because there was like no tourists there. It was wonderful, but it's still hot. And I think exploring Canada, like we were just saying, like we live here and it's cold all the time, but our country is so beautiful. So like, why not explore it in the summertime when it's really nice? And there's like festival, like I swear to God, everyone has a country music festival now or like some sort of music festival everywhere.
Yeah.
So whether it be for a music festival or going out to Banff or something, I think taking advantage of just exploring in your own backyard. I also am like, it's like selfish to say that because it's like I get to go spend weeks in my cottage that I now own in Nova Scotia, but I think it just gave me so much more appreciation for like spending time out there. I'm getting all my friends to come this summer, so we're all going to do a week at the cottage and we're all going to go to Halifax for one night and go out
Nice.
there. So and last summer I explored Calgary a little bit and I went up to Banff, and I just think exploring our own country, if you're looking to travel during the summertime, I think is the best way to do it.
Totally, and they're like you don't have to necessarily fly across the country either.
No.
They're a nice like small. Just talking about where we are here in Toronto,
Yeah.
they're nice small towns, like accessible by even like the GO train.
Well,
to hop
I
on
even
and
I
go
even
for a
went
day.
to Stratford for a buck and doe a couple
Yeah.
weeks ago, but like my friend like made a whole day planned out in Stratford, and we like went to the park, we went for lunch, we went to a brewery, and like all these things that was
Yeah.
like so fun. So I think even just exploring like your own backyard, going to Niagara or PEC.
I was gonna say there's some really good hikes out there. There's some good waterfalls to
There's
check
like
out.
Tobermory you can go in north of Ontario.
Yeah, the
north.
grotto out there.
Yeah. So I just think there's like so much more to explore. And then also I preach to everyone, there's nothing better than a Toronto summer. And I've been guilty of it in the past of like feeling the itch to travel and leave here when it is the summertime. But like there's truly nothing better than Toronto in the summertime. It's why I love living here. The city comes alive. There's a new energy. I could feel it this weekend. And so
Yeah.
like you could really feel it this
I
weekend.
went
This
to an
past weekend was
event
so
that
nice.
felt like the first.
My sister saw
party
you
of-
there.
Really?
Yeah. And she texted me and
I was
said,
wasted.
what was it called? City Wines or something?
Community wines.
Community Wines. She texted me and goes, is Jacob at Community Wines? I go, I don't know. He posted an Instagram story. It looked like he was in a backyard. And she goes, that's Community Wines. She goes, and then I see her on Sunday and she goes, yeah, it was Jacob. I just didn't know he had a neck tattoo. And I was like, yeah, he has a neck tattoo. She goes, but that's why I was too nervous to go up. I didn't go up to say hi 'cause I wasn't 100% sure if it was him because
I
he
was
had a
wearing.
neck tattoo.
I never wear sunglasses. People don't know me as a sunglass guy, but I was wearing
But
sunglasses.
also, yeah. So also, if you're wearing sunglasses, you're bald with
And
a
I had a
beard, and
hat-
you
I had a
like
hat
it,
on.
you're just look like a bro. Like you look like an East End bro.
Well, okay, I walked in and it was just like, and this was what said Toronto summer to me. First of all, I was in line.
Yeah,
And
classic.
The line was so long, even though I got there when it opened. Everyone looked the exact same. So she could have been like, that's Jacob, or that's Jacob, or that's
she
Jacob.
did peg you though, but she was like the giveaway. She goes, I didn't know he had a neck tattoo.
Okay, true.
So now she knows. But yes, there's nothing but the Toronto summer. There's markets everywhere. There's like little things. The bar scene becomes more alive. There's like concerts going on. There's just always something happening here, and the patios are great. And just I love this summer. I love this city in the summertime. So I think just not getting the itch to just constantly leave.
Yeah.
Which I know is like you're literally leaving for 3 weeks, but that's fine. I am still leaving, but I just mean like trying not to leave as much.
Yeah, totally. I
What
get
about
that.
you? What's your third and
The
final
the
tip?
third and final tip that I have for the summer, and this, you have to leave the city a little bit, but if you live in a city or a town that has one of these, take advantage. For the life of me, I didn't go to a drive-in movie until 2021, like deep pandemic.
Like, well, you had never been to one in your life, or just you mean like?
I'd never been to one in my life.
Shut up!
I know.
They don't have those in the KW.
I mean, like, there's probably one
That
like
was
30
oh my
minutes
god!
away, but I just
you can tell you didn't grow up in a small town. The staple thing, the way you know you're gonna kiss a boy
Yeah?
is if he asks you to go to the drive-in,
Okay,
and you go on a date to the drive-in to go watch 2 back-to-back movies that you don't care about. You have no idea what the movie is, and they like put the seats down. And
Yeah.
you watch the movie.
bring some pillows, get some snacks.
And like, there's always like a blob on the screen. Like, it's not that great of a
Yeah.
projection, and like snacks cost $1 million.
yeah, someone's got their lights on. like,
Yeah,
a couple
always someone's
over.
like making like yeah. There's like always stuff going on. But yes, you knew a boy was gonna kiss you when you were in high school if they asked you to go to the drive-in theater.
Oh, okay. That's kind of the vibe that it gave me. And obviously there's lore around like all of the drive-in movie theaters and whatnot. But it was like, I've been to 2. So I went to one with Haley last
Did you go to the
summer.
one in Oakville, the big one?
I went to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I also went to one in Guelph. That was like my first one. And I
Oh,
went just
wow.
like with my brother, sister-in-law, and then a bunch of our friends. And so I've done Friends and the romantic thing. And both fun
Mm-hmm. Good vibes.
vibes.
Good
So if you're
vibes.
not looking to kiss someone,
Or if you are.
or if you are, go for it.
I feel like in COVID it became a really big date thing again. Like it wasn't for a long time, and then I think drive-in theaters came back in COVID. And I think
Yes.
they used to do drive-ins at the docks as well. You used to have a drive-in.
I know there was the City View Drive-In that they
Yeah.
did concerts and drive-in theater or movies. They did that in COVID as
Yeah,
well.
but then they got rid of it. But
Bring
yeah,
it
the
back.
drive-in's a really good answer. Oh, I have to go to one. I don't think I've been to one since I was kissing boys in high school. That was probably the last time I went to a drive-in movie theater.
And you know what? I just like, romance aside, I like making a little nest in the back there, just like curling up, getting cozy, bringing your jammies.
I thought you were gonna say like making out in the back.
Well, making out's cool, but like, you know,
But like
you wanna
watching the
get-
movie too. It's always the most random double features too. Like
I
it would be
know.
like a movie that's been out for 6 months, and then like the old Spider-Man. Like it was just
Yeah.
always the most random.
What did I
I
go
watched
to last year?
Transformers, and by that I mean it's like I didn't pay attention. I don't know. I didn't think I've ever seen Transformers, but apparently I've seen it. That was like a double feature. It was like Transformers and Spider-Man.
Okay, yeah, we saw it last summer. I went and saw it was the Jordan Peele movie. I'm blanking
Get
on
Out?
the name. No, the most recent one. I'm totally blanking on the name. Which was great. And then right after that was like this horror movie. And I was like,
I feel like horror movies are very common.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, you don't like horror movies. Wow, that's a really good one. I'm gonna have to go to a drive-in theater soon. Then. Welcome back to our voicemail segment. So we've just given you everything you need to know about summertime, and now you probably want more advice from us because we give great advice sometimes. So as a reminder, if you want to ask us any sort of question or looking for advice or anything, you can follow us at Talking Fast Show on Instagram. I do a call out every single week. Are you ready for voicemail?
I'm ready.
Okay, first question. What is at the top of your summer reading list?
Okay.
Sidebar, right in the break before we started recording this, Jacob told me, like a serial killer, he starts 10 books. He has like 10 books open with bookmarks in them. He goes, I have like 10
I
books
could-
on the go right now. How do you remember what's happened?
Well, that's the tough thing, is that
Yeah, that's the tough thing. I don't remember because I
I'll
haven't
have
read
to
it for 6 months.
do a skim summary when I'm getting back into a book and like read the previous chapter or whatever I just read.
So you you don't even just
But
DNF
you know
them.
what?
You just
I
like
read
put
a
them
lot of nonfiction that
the chapters. It doesn't matter.
it seems like if I read like the first half, I'm absorbing the kind of knowledge that I want to absorb.
You're not just leaving yourself cliffhangers in
Yeah,
fiction
it's-
novels.
yeah,
Okay,
exactly,
got it.
exactly.
Anyway, so what is, aside from maybe the 10 books you have open, or maybe those are the ones that are on your summer reading
one
list?
of them, and I don't know, I might have mentioned him before once on the podcast, but there's this YouTuber that I really like called Bo Miles, and he does all kinds of like adventure vloggy kind of interesting storytelling videos.
Mm-hmm.
I really like his channel. Seems like a really cool guy. And he came out with a book. This was probably about a year ago,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a year and a half ago. I picked it's dating my how often I'll open a new book. But I opened it and I'm like, I started it probably 6 months ago, really enjoyed it. And then
And then you just
kinda
went, I
forgot
don't
it.
need any more enjoyment.
I was like,
You
let me
just
jump
throw
to
it
one of the
side.
6 other books that I'm reading. But that one I think is like, he's a big outdoors kind of
Yeah,
guy.
so for the
and now that
summertime.
it's speaking about summer and whatnot, that's probably going to be his, I forget what it's called, the Backyard Adventure, I think. And that's going to be my go-to for right now.
For me, summer reading is always romance novels because all the good authors, like the biggest romance authors, always drop books right before summer because they know that everyone has like summer
juicy,
reading lists.
yeah.
So I've read a couple already. They were both good, not great. They were 2 of my favorite authors, and they're like a little bit disappointing. So there's a few others. Abby Jimenez just released another one. I'm going to download that tonight probably. I just go one book at a time, but they always release in like May, like this time of year.
Yeah.
So then you can be stacked for summertime, which is the best.
What's the difference for you between deciding if you're going to do e-reader or actually physically use the book?
My favorite authors will always buy the physical book.
Okay.
E-reader if I'm going to be traveling a lot.
Makes sense.
Or if it's an ugly cover and I don't care about physically having the book. But I also have no more room on my bookshelf, so I really just need to start buying more e-reader books because I have no other option.
Totally fair. Totally fair. Voicemail question number 2. Best piece of advice for self-confidence?
It's that it is a journey and not a destination. That sounds really cheesy and like it's out of a self-help book, but I think the biggest misconception that you're sold as a young person and like anyone in life is that it's the same as happiness, right? Is that like, I just want to be happy. And it's like you are sold this idea that one day you're going to be happy and then you're just happy for the rest of your life. Or one day you're going to be self-confident, then you're self-confident for the rest of your life. That is not true. I've gone through periods where I'm the most confident ever, where I'm a God complex. I'm like, number one, nothing can bring me down. And I've also gone through lows. It could be within a matter of a week. It could flip like that, right?
Yeah.
So I just think the biggest misconception for young girls, especially that I was sold as a young person, was that I would become a self-confident adult woman and then you're confident forever and that's how life works. But it's not. It's a journey and you're always having to work on it and you'll be confident in different ways and different reasons. There'll be things that you stop caring about, but I think you just need to remember that it is not, you're not always going to be your most confident self. You're sometimes going to have those lows, but that doesn't mean that that's it forever. It's just finding the way out of it.
Yeah, that's really good. I think for me, that I would echo that, but then also learning how to be bad at something and not letting it
Bother you
when it comes to self-confidence.
that.
Because
Yeah.
I think that like the things that make at least myself feel good about myself and probably other people too is like being able to explore my creativity or try something new or learn something new. And a lot of the times feeling that you're going to be not enough to step into something new is something that completely holds you back from getting the most out of life and actually discovering how you can become more self-confident, which is by trying new things and learning what you're maybe good at or what you enjoy doing. And you can only do that if you kind of step outside your comfort zone. So learning how to, try to be more comfortable in those situations will hopefully lead to better self-confidence, I think.
I love that. Our last question of voicemail for this episode is, if you could make an office rule for everyone that everybody else has to follow, what would it be? Now, I understand it is just Brooklyn and you in your office, which is your apartment, but pretend you're corporate Jacob and you work in an office, or you run a company I guess if you run the company, you can make whatever rules you wanted, but if you can make an office rule for everyone to follow, what would it be? Or you could say offices all around the world have to follow this rule.
Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, it's a really double-edged sword because what do you want? Do you want to be more productive or do you want to have more fun? And it would be a really tough balance for me to choose what the rule is gonna make. So maybe I'll make one for both. If we're gonna go for more productive, I would have to have a rule that is just like, everyone shut up. And And don't.
That's it. Hearts up. No meetings. Everyone shut up
And
don't speak to each other.
Everyone shut up, I mean mostly me, because I would just like in an office environment. The one time I worked in an office, I was like chatty Cathy
How do you
over
think
here.
I do in an office
Are you a
setting?
chatty?
Yeah, when I do have to, not in the morning, but then the second it's after lunchtime,
It's
my
downhill,
productivities.
yeah.
I'm playing ping pong. My productivities. I might as well go and work from home at that
I
point
was
because my
this-
productivity's out the window.
I was the exact same. And the only time I ever worked in an office, it was kind of an open office setting. And it was like my team that like we were kind of like the creative young
Yeah.
people doing like entertainment
That's
news.
us.
And then across, like in just on the other side of this like half wall desk was like people doing ad ops, like a pretty serious
Oh,
job. And they would be on
geez.
calls with clients. And listen, I wouldn't probably do this today, but this is why the rule's in place. We got in trouble a few times because we were talking. Listen, it was our job, entertainment news, and we were talking about Justin Bieber a lot because he was huge in the news then. And we would always be talking about who Justin Bieber was sleeping with or like what are the
Oh, and they would
rumors.
be on
And they would be
calls.
on calls with clients. And it's like, we need to do this because we're recording voiceover, or we're scripting voiceover, or having a conversation about what topics we should cover. And they would have clients call and be like, listen, you can't be
Keep
saying that
talking
in the
about-
back of.
Wow.
So maybe that'd be my rule.
Talking less, talking more.
Being more
Take meetings
appropriate
in
in the
a-
workplace
take a meeting
if
in
you're
a-
not being productive.
Interesting. I'm going in a very different direction. 4-day work week.
Oh, okay, so like a very practical.
If that could be an office rule, a 4-day work week. No, an actual office rule would be no one's allowed to eat lunch at their desk.
Oh, why?
Because I used to work at a company. I used to work at a company that we got catered lunch every day. It was a very tech company thing. It's because like the rule was if the San Francisco office had catered lunch, which they all do at tech companies, then every other office had to have free catered lunch. So we had free catered lunch every single day, which is such a privilege. We also had free breakfast, latte machines, everything you would need. Like think Google level. We had everything you would ever want. We had beer in the fridge. We had everything. But the issue is you never left. And so I
Yeah.
never took my lunch break. I never went outside. The reason I started drinking Starbucks was so that I could go in the afternoon for a walk to go get a coffee. I just lied and said I didn't like the coffee in the office so that I had a reason to go outside, because otherwise you felt guilty like eating not at your desk because everybody else did. So when I like even now at this job, I find myself eating at my desk a lot just because all my friends like also their desks are
Yeah.
across from me. So we kind of just eat there to talk, but I really don't like eating at my desk. I like having the separation. I like going for a walk, eating outside or doing something. So if I was an office role, I'd say no one's allowed to have food at their desk.
Ah, that's a good one.
Yeah. Thanks for doing another little duo ep with me. I think we did a good job at giving everyone all the vibes they need for the summertime. Also, I can't believe you never plugged your freaking summer playlist in this
Oh, yeah, my
entire
God. Yeah.
episode.
Okay. Fourth tip of the summer is to have the absolute best summer ever is to search up Jacob Morris's Songs of the Summer playlist on Spotify.
It's Spotify exclusive, unless Apple wants to buy it from us. And so it's
It has banger after banger
It's
after
banger after
banger that you're going
banger.
to want to put on repeat
if you're
and
going
roll
on
the
an
windows
airplane,
down.
if you're in a car, if you're going in a car to go do a little makeup
Yeah, I was
session at the
gonna-
drive-in, you can put on Jacob's Songs of Summer
Oh
playlist.
my God, maybe I'll make a playlist that's like songs to make out to in a drive-in.
Thank you so much for listening. As always, we are here every single Wednesday. Make sure you subscribe, give us 5 stars, all of the good things, and we will see you next week.